Picture this, a massive boat drifting in endless waves. Inside, 8 people and hundreds of animals are crammed together. Roaring lions, chirping birds, stomping elephants. Outside, nothing but water as far as the eye can see. No land, no escape. How did they get here? What led to this? To uncover the truth, we have to go back. Back to a time when the world was broken, and one man's courage set the stage for an incredible journey. This is the story of Noah and the Ark. A long time ago, there lived a man named Noah. He was a very special man because in a world where most people were behaving badly, hurting each other, stealing, and not listening to God, Noah was kind, honest, and always tried to do what was right. He had a wife named Naomi, and they had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Each of the sons was married, so there were 8 people in Noah's family. One day, God looked down at the world and was very sad. The people had become so wicked that God decided to start over. But because Noah was good and listened to him, God had a plan to save Noah, his family, and the animals of the world. God told Noah to build a huge boat called an ark. And let me tell you, this ark was big. How big, you ask? It was as long as a football field and as tall as a 4-story building. It had 3 floors. The bottom floor was where all the trash went. Imagine how much cleanup they had to do with so many animals. The middle floor was where the animals lived, and the top floor was for Noah and his family, and they had a special window for some sunlight. It took Noah 120 years to build the ark. That's a really long time. And during that time, Noah tried to warn the people around him, God is going to send a flood. You have to stop doing bad things. But no one listened. They just laughed at Noah, calling him silly for building such a big boat in the middle of dry land. But Noah trusted God and kept building. When the ark was finally ready, God told Noah to bring animals onto the ark. He said to take 2 of every kind of animal, a boy and a girl, so they could have babies later and refill the earth. But for the animals that people could use for sacrifices, like cows, sheep, and goats, God told Noah to bring 14 of each. That's a lot of animals. Imagine leading lions, elephants, zebras, and giraffes onto the ark. And don't forget about the birds and insects too. Finally, 1,656 years after God created the world, on the 17th day of the 2nd month, rain started to fall. At first, it was just a drizzle, but soon it turned into a downpour. And the rain didn't stop for 40 days, and 40 nights' water came from heaven, also out of the ground. The water rose higher and higher, covering even the tallest mountains. But Noah, his family, and all the animals were safe inside the ark, floating above the storm. Life inside the ark wasn't easy. Noah and his family worked hard every day to care for the animals. They fed the lions, cleaned up after the elephants, and made sure every creature was comfortable. But one day, Noah was late feeding the lion, and the lion, who was very hungry, swiped at Noah with his paw. Noah wasn't seriously hurt, but he learned an important lesson. Even lions need their meals on time. For 150 days, the ark floated in the endless water. Can you imagine being on a boat for that long? But finally, one day, the ark bumped into something solid. It had landed on the top of a mountain called Mount Ararat. The water was going down. Noah wanted to check if it was safe to leave the ark. First, he sent out a raven. The raven didn't fly far. It just circled the ark, never leaving it. Then Noah sent out a dove. The dove came back because there was nowhere for it to land. A week later, he sent the dove out again, and this time, it came back with an olive branch in its beak. That meant trees were growing again. A week later, Noah sent the dove out one more time, and this time, it didn't come back. It had found a place to live. which meant the earth was dry enough for everyone to leave the ark. Finally, Noah and his family were able to leave the ark. As soon as they stepped off the ark, the first thing they did was thank God for keeping them safe. They built an altar and made sacrifices to show their gratitude. God was pleased and made a special promise to Noah and all future generations. He said he would never again destroy the earth with a flood. And as a sign of this promise, he placed a rainbow in the sky. So, whenever you see a rainbow, you can remember God's love and his promise to protect the world. God gave Noah and his family an important blessing. Just like he had blessed Adam and Eve, God told them to take care of the animals and all living creatures. And now, for the first time, people were allowed to eat meat, but only if the animal had been treated kindly and killed first. Hurting animals by eating them while they were still alive was absolutely not allowed. God also made some rules for how people should live. These rules were simple but very important. No stealing, no saying bad things about God, no worshiping idols, no hurting others, no being indecent. And everyone had to make sure their community had judges and courts to keep things fair. These laws, called the Noahide laws, were given to help everyone live in peace and kindness, just as God wanted. But Noah's story doesn't end there. After the flood, Noah planted a vineyard. One day, he made wine from the grapes and drank too much. He fell asleep in his tent and wasn't dressed properly. Ham, one of his sons, saw this and laughed at his father. But Shem and Japheth were respectful. They took a blanket, walked backward into the tent, and covered their father without looking at him. When Noah woke up and found out what had happened, he blessed Shem and Japheth for their kindness, but punished Ham for his disrespect. Noah lived a long life, 950 years to be exact. His family grew and grew, and his sons became the ancestors of many nations. Shem's family became the people of Israel. Ham's descendants moved to places like Africa and Egypt, and Japheth's family spread to Europe. Noah's story teaches us so many powerful lessons. It shows the importance of listening to God, even when everyone around us is doing the opposite. It reminds us to take care of the world and all its creatures, and it shows how small acts of kindness and respect, like Shem and Japheth's actions, can make a big difference. And of course, every time you see a rainbow, you can remember Noah, the ark, and God's everlasting promise to protect the world. But here's something interesting to think about. Was Noah truly righteous because he stood out as good compared to everyone else, who were so wicked? Or was Noah's righteousness even more incredible because he managed to stay good in the middle of such a bad world? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing stories from the Bible. Thanks for watching, and remember, just like Noah, we can always choose to do what's right, no matter what's happening around us. See you next time.